Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is actually going to be the first video of the year. I hadn't filmed anything during January. It was a pretty hectic month, I would say. I traveled, did a lot of things. I even got sick. I'm actually still sort of recovering. I'm fine now. Like, I feel fine, but my voice is still definitely, not yet okay. So bear with me on that. So today I'm going to be doing my annual TBR. This time it's actually going to be different because I'm going to be talking about books that I have previously mentioned in the past. I will be repeating some of those books from those videos on here and to this list. So I have my list here of 25 books for 2025 that I would like to read, and all of these books are books that I own. That is just one of my goals, is to read a majority of the books that I own. So I'm currently over 50%, but I'd like that number to be higher, of course. Anyway, let's just get into it. So the first three books are a trilogy, and that is the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I actually have book one here. I brought it back with me from the province because I found an audiobook that I would like to listen to alongside reading this. And it's the same guy, I think, who made the Hobbit audio that I really, really love. And I'm actually currently listening to it right now, so that is going to be my first read of this year. But yeah, I found an audiobook of it made by the same guy. I really, really want to listen to it while reading alongside the book. The next three books is another trilogy. I think this is my most recent purchase. This is His Dark Materials by Philip Pullman. It's a really big book. It's so thick, but there's three books in here. I'm so happy that I found this on Shopee because I was unsure if anyone was selling one of the editions where it has all three books in it. And thankfully I found someone selling this, which has, again, all three books, which was what I was looking for. So yeah, I'm so excited to read this because I really liked the movie. I enjoyed it very, very much. And I didn't know that it was from a book, so I wanted to read it. And since it was a trilogy, I thought, why not just get all three? I don't know, I just thought the movie was really cool and I really enjoyed it, and I thought I might like the story, so I just got all three. So here it is. Okay, moving on to the next book. I have A World Without Princes by Soman Chainani. I've been meaning to read this for a while now. I was going to start reading this last year when I thought of doing a reading vlog of it because I did a reading vlog for the first book, but I just haven't read it yet because I'm not feeling like reading it at the moment. But hopefully this year I will get around to reading this because I do want to know what happens next in the story. Moving on to the next three books. This isn't a trilogy, but this is part of a series, and that is the, oh my gosh, I'm not actually sure what the series is called. I think it's the Children of the Red King series, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I don't remember anymore. I just refer to it as the Charlie Bone series. So I have the first three books here listed. So those are Midnight for Charlie Bone and the Time Twister, and then Charlie Bone and the Invisible Boy. The next book in this list is Life of Pi. I've had this book for quite a while now. I've never picked it up yet to read, but I really want to get around to it because I do want to watch the movie, and I personally want to read the book first before watching the movie, so I will get around to it sometime this year. Okay, moving on to classics. The first book that I have here is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I do also have an audiobook of this on Audrey, so I am planning to listen to the audiobook while reading alongside my physical copy that I own. So yeah, I will read this sometime this year. And then the next book is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. This is one of the presents that I received from last year. I really want to read this because I did listen to an audiobook. However, that audiobook is an abridged version, so it doesn't have everything in it. I'm curious as well if I'm going to be able to read this much more easily, because when listening to the audiobook I did find myself having a bit of a hard time listening to it and understanding what's going on. So maybe when I read the text, maybe I'll have an easier time, but who knows. Lastly, in the classics section is Paradise Lost. I think this is the oldest book that I have on this list. Oldest as in the book that I've had for the longest time that I haven't read yet. Yeah, I think I'm finally gonna start reading it this year. We'll see. And then, moving on to nonfiction, the first book that I have is Permission to Feel by Mark Brackett. Actually, I've started reading this book. I think I started just like a few days ago, and I only just finished chapter 1 because I started listening to the Hobbit audiobook, and I've been listening to that one instead of reading this one. I think after listening to the audiobook, I will continue reading this, and so far, it's pretty good. I am enjoying it. And then the next book is The Omnivore's Dilemma by Michael Pollan. I have been meaning to read that book since last year because it was referenced in Eating Animals by Jonathan Safran Foer, and I wanted to see what is included in this book because Jonathan Safran Foer said that although that he liked the book, he felt that Michael Pollan didn't go through things much further than he expected. So I just wanted to see what is included and talked about in that book. And then the next book is I Am Malala. And yeah, I just wanted to read this book because I'm not really one to read biographies and autobiographies, but I just wanted to give her book a try because her story is just super interesting. So yeah. And then lastly, in this nonfiction section is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I know this is such a popular book and I have never read it yet, and I'm curious to see what there is to learn from that book. So those are all of the physical books that I own that I would like to read. We are now going to be moving on to ebooks. And all of these ebooks that I'm going to mention, I actually have one on Storygraph, which is super cool. I love Storygraph so much. The first book that I have on here is All the Broken People. Don't know who it is by. I will insert the author's name on screen. So sorry. But yeah, I saw this giveaway that they had, and the book just really piqued my interest because it's a mystery book, I believe. And from what I remember from reading the blurb, it's about this woman and she's like married to this guy and she's having this like good life, and then things sort of turn on their head or something like that. I might be butchering the blurb and like the story, but I just know that there is something with the husband, and this perfect life that she has is sort of flipped over, if that makes sense. I think that is what the story is about. I might be wrong. I might be remembering a completely different story, but I think this is that story. And then the next book is When the Stars Alight by Camilla Andrew. Actually, I've also started this ebook recently, again, a few days ago, and I've only read chapter 1 as well. And this has been such a really interesting reading experience because the author also included a playlist, like a music playlist, to listen along while reading. So she's got these list of songs that you can listen to while reading specific chapters. So I thought that was really cool. And then lastly, in the ebook section is The Men in My Life, which I also didn't write the author's name down. I'm so sorry, but I will put their name on screen for you to check out the book. I think this one is actually a nonfiction piece, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think this book is fiction. I don't remember. I'm so sorry. I can't remember much about it right now. Okay, moving on to our audiobooks section. The first book that I have here is Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. So yeah, all of these are actually going to be classics. So that is the first audiobook that I have listed down here. The next book is The Great Gatsby. I've been wanting to read this book for the longest time because I think this was a reading that we had back in high school that we just like never got to, I think. I've also never watched the movie yet. I would like to read this audiobook first before watching the movie. And then the second to last book is The Tenant of Windfell Hall. I think this is also the longest audiobook that I have here on this list. I think this one is over 10 hours long. I'm not exactly sure of the time of the audiobook and how long it is, but I believe this is the longest audiobook here. And then lastly is Dubliners by, I don't know the author. I think it's James Joyce, but I'm not sure. So yeah, that is the last book that I have here on this list. And I included this one because it's one of the shorter ones, I think. I just wanted to, listen to another classic and include another classic in this list. So yeah, those are all of the books that I have in my 25 books for 2025 list. Again, these are just books that I own, and I know that I might not get to some of these because I might feel like reading something else at the moment because I am very much a mood reader. I will read whatever I'm in the mood for, but still I'm going to try to get through all of these books if I can this year. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!